Hey guys, so another festival review, and this time the movie Maniac. And Maniac is a new, fairly talked about horror film that stars Elijah Wood as the main character, Frank. And Frank is a man who has now inherited a mannequin store from his now dead mum. But Frank is also a serial killer. He likes to, well, I wouldn't so much say he likes to, more that he is, in a way, compelled to go out, a few nights a week and will kill a woman, scalp her, and then uses the scalps as wigs for his mannequins. Now, I'll start off my review by saying that Maniac is a very unique horror movie. It does have some plot traits that aren't very original, so to speak. But it's unique because of how it strings together all these plot points and makes it into a new story, as well as how the film is presented. The film is done almost entirely in point of view shots. You see basically everything through the eyes of Frank, except maybe 3 very short scenes. Other than that, it's entirely through his perspective. And I know that the film does borrow a recycled key plot element, and the film itself is a remake. But it proves that it all comes down to the execution of it all. This film explores layers and a side of the story that, whilst expected and not really original, is immensely interesting and really is what keeps this film going. But the main thing I liked about this movie most, the main special craft of it all, is the characters. This is essentially a character piece. And in that regards, it's excellent. You understand each character, how they are seen through the complex mind of our lead, and also they're very realistic and very layered personalities within minutes or sometimes even seconds of meeting them. It was very impressive, and it's something that I think I've only really seen done in a few James Cameron films. But technologically also, there is some ace work going on in the editing suite. How this film is stylized and presented truly is something new. And I'm not just talking about the point of view shots. Also, the, quick edits, quick shots, how sound is used in this film, and also how it really accurately creates this specific mood and tone within the first few minutes. Before the beginning credits are even over, you know exactly the mood that will be set up for the rest of this film. And as both a thriller and horror film, this is intense. Wow, it really does creep under your skin and excels at making you uncomfortable at the fact that you don't know what's going to happen next. Each scene is unpredictable. And at times, the intensity makes it hard to watch because of how heavy the situations are, especially at the end. And whilst it's doing all this, it really is gripping. It's hard to watch, but your eyes are glued to the screen. However, my only one gripe of the film has to do with the killing/scalping scenes. I know that these scenes, whilst disturbing, are relevant to the plot and they need to be in there. And for the most part, I thought that these scenes were actually really artistically done. And it wasn't gore for the sake of gore. But I thought that there were one or two too many scalpings. And they could have been replaced with more scenes about Frank's past, so we could understand more about how he came to be this way. Because some of the most interesting parts of this are these two flashbacks where we can begin to understand how Frank might have become this way. More scenes of this would have made it just that little bit better, and they could have been in there instead of maybe these other two scalping scenes, which I felt may not have been that necessary. But now I'll deliver my one-sentence review. Maniac is a brilliant character study and a highly intense horror thriller that is most definitely not for the faint of heart. I'm going to give Maniac a 4.5 out of 5 stars. And when I saw Maniac, there was also a short film that played beforehand called Honk, If You're Horny. And whilst it's very different to Maniac, I had a great time with that short film. It's very loose, but I thought it was actually kind of clever. It's only 10 minutes. It's a short film, but it's so funny. The comedic timing is great, and that's all done because of a witty script, actors who know what they're doing and know how to deliver a joke perfectly, and as well as how the film is shot really makes this thing something really enjoyable. So I would say, if you're looking for, a Friday or Saturday night laugh with a few buddies, if you can get your hands on Honk If You're Horny, just watch that for a few laughs before whatever you're going to watch that night. You'll have a great time. A great 10 minutes. But yes, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm Thomas, and that's a review.